All right, so I've got a open air market tomorrow, and I'm going to be setting up my hat bar. But in order to do that, I have to transport all the stuff that I usually set up, and it's currently all stacked up here in my garage, with the exception of the major setup stuff that stays in the bed of my truck to make life easier. So I'm gonna get loaded and get ready for tomorrow's event. Let's go. All right, so half the battle when getting loaded is making sure everything fits. Luckily, I've been doing this for quite some time that I have it down to a science. And there's nobody that can do it like I do it. I tend to get a little bit impatient and angry at folks when they try to help me and they don't really know how I like stuff. I'm pretty particular in that way. But in any case, so I got all this stuff here in front of me, but I don't necessarily take it all for every market that I do or every event that I do. Sometimes I'll break it down and decide, depending on the type of traffic that I believe that I'm going to get, whether or not I'm going to do a 2-booth setup or a single booth setup. For the open air market, which is down the street from my house, I usually do a 10 by 10, especially since I've been doing a lot of these by myself. Typically I'll have somebody helping me set up and break down, but in the event where I know that I'm not going to have that kind of help, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of diversify and make it a little bit more efficient for me. So, lots of room back here in order to be able to place everything in its neat little place. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen any of the pictures that I posted on the socials or any of the videos, it might help to have some context. I typically do a hat bar, which is my primary focus, but I also like to get into selling some other engravables as well with something like the X-Tool P2 that I use. It's important that I leverage it the best way that I can. So, I typically do glass items, just decanter sets, whiskey sets. I engrave the boxes themselves, and then I'll sell some t-shirts. When I first got into this, I was crafting everything, and it got to the point where it was too much. So as time has gone on, I've been able to identify what it is I enjoy doing the most, what gets the most traction. So I have dialed it down to t-shirts and hats, and then engravables. And the biggest thing is folks love custom items, and the best way to do that is with my X-Tool F1, which I take to every event, and I'll take blanks with me as well in order for people to choose from. Kind of like the same idea with the hat bar. You get an option of blanks, you get some things that you want to engrave on there. You might have some blank items that are available for them to put something personal on, and then after that it's disco, which basically it brings in more folks because they get an opportunity to put something that nobody else has on something that is pretty popular, like a flask or a tumbler, something like that. But for this particular purpose and for tomorrow's market, I'm not going to bring all of these items. So it's just hats, which I have plenty of. I have these nice little carrying cases to bring them all before setup. I feel like I'm not putting everything in here that I should, but I think I'm good. It's been hard getting used to kind of condensing the things that I bring so that in that way I haven't, All right. Nice little toolbox to keep all my patches. Make sure that I put my sign for my sandwich frame in there, not forget it. Otherwise people have no idea. They usually don't read the sign anyway, so that's all right. People are weird. All right, slide this right in here like that, keep it safe. Mar up the edges. I feel like I'm missing something. I think I said that before. Oh, well, we're stuck. There we go. Little hat press. Not smart of me. That means the door. Ready to go. Today's market day. Everything's packed up, ready to go. I got one stop to make. It's very crucial prior to starting setup, and that's the Wawa. So let's go. Typically, I don't get an opportunity to stop before I go, and I always regret it. So one of those pro tips, make sure that you're hydrated, make sure you have water, make sure you have food, because if you get busy, you're not going to have an opportunity to do any of that. So always go prepared. All right, done with the Wawa. It's time to move on to the next step in the journey, and that is to get there and set up. Let's go. All right, let's go take a look. Looks like it's number 5 for me today. Luckily, there's not going to be anybody on either side of me, so I might have to change the setup that I normally have, which is fine. I'd rather do that than pull out every single thing that I normally pull out, especially since I'm a one-man band. So, stand by. I'll show you what the setup, how it goes.